All right, so it's the beginning of day 3, and we got a bunch of stuff to do, starting with measuring of the drive shaft, the Champion radiator, and the EFI. So let's get cracking. All right, beginning of day 3, and Damon here from QA1 is going to show us the proper way to measure for a drive shaft. Without drive shaft, we're not going anywhere.
No, not without pushing it.
Nope. So
we've got
walk us through this.
We've got the rear suspension loaded, mocked up at ride height. So you always want to get your measurements with the car at ride height, not at full droop or full compression on the suspension. So first thing that we want to do, let's check our U-joint cap diameter here. So we want to measure across the caps. We're looking at about 1 1/8 inches. And then the cross diameter, or cross width as well, we're looking at 3 5/8 on that.
2 very important.
So that way we can get the correct U-joints.
Yep.
Now we want to measure from the pinion yoke to the back of the seal on the output shaft, or on the tail shaft. We've got 52 7/8 inches.
Is that to the output shaft or to the seal?
To the seal.
Okay, what was it again? 52 and what?
52 7/8.
Okay. Okay.
So now we're going to measure to the back of the output shaft itself, and we're looking at 52 1/2.
Easy enough.
And if you don't know what the spline count is on your transmission, you want to count those. A lot of transmissions do have a master spline, and that's actually to help breathe when the slip yoke plunges in. So, for example, on a GM 4L60E, that's a 27 spline output shaft, and depending on the output shaft or the slip yoke, it may only actually have 26 splines.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
Yep. The more information I'm
yes.
guessing you give you guys,
the easier it's going to be to make sure that we build the correct drive shaft
Absolutely.
for your application.
you don't want to ship it back.
No. Unfortunately, with a carbon fiber drive shaft, there's very little room to modify that.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that you want to get right the first time. And we double check all of the measurements. We send everything back to engineering, have them go through it. They verify critical speed and just double check it.
Perfect.
So when you get this drive shaft, it should be able to bolt in your car, no issues.
Well, you know what I like about this is you took the measurements. If they're messed up, you're gonna have to come back out and visit us.
All right, won't be the end of the world.
JEGS started in 1960 with Jeg Coughlin Sr. He was really into hot rods and cars, and he would order parts out of California for himself and build stuff. And that's kind of how JEGS started rolling. He'd order some parts, sell them to buddies, help fix their cars, and then he went into a machine shop and full chassis shop. Went from a small retail shop in downtown Columbus to over 200,000 square feet facility and about 300 employees. And we've got a good group of people that work for us. You know, we've got some employees that have been there 30, even 40 years. All the family's racers. Jag, multi-time Pro Stock World Champion. Troy, Pro Mod World Champion. You know, there's a lot of Wallies in that family. And I'm super proud to work for them. That's a big reason why I joined the organization. You know, growing up as a kid, I was a drag racer. My dad was. And to join a family like that was, you know, it was an honor, and I'm really proud to work for them. A lot of the stuff we have on the shelf, we race that stuff. We use it every weekend, we pound it, we try to break it. And it keeps coming through for us. So when we tell a customer, you know, this is what you need, it'll get you down the track, it'll get you down the street, you can guarantee it. We got our word on that one.
All right, guys, we're installing the new Baer Remaster, and we're putting that on in place of the factory master cylinder here. So what we're going to do is 2 things. We have 2 types of fittings available on this. We can use a conventional tapered seat or a banjo fitting. Now, with a tapered seat fitting, we provide these little brass seats. Now, those little brass seats want to be just dropped down inside the port. And then I want to make sure that that seat fits all the way down square. So I'm just using this screwdriver just to make sure that seat fell all the way down inside. So once that's down like that, these are my pre-bent fittings, but I'll just keep that seat in place with this fitting here and hold that in place for now. Now the second key thing for installing the Remaster on this Monte Carlo, there are 2 depths and 2 lengths of push rods that are used on these cars. This is a short one, there's also a long one. How do I know which is which? I look at my factory master cylinder and see that this is very close out to the end. So this is shallow, so this is a short version. Now because there are 2 lengths, with Baer we provide this what we call a bullet. So you can see the hole here is deep and goes all the way down. So to make it into a shallow, I just drop this in like this, and now I've got the correct depth for my push rod, so I'll have full power to the brakes and a full stroke on the pedal, and that's all there is to it.
We brought our classic Efi system, which is our 30,020. Handles up to 650 horsepower. It's a beautiful classic gold color. Along with that, we brought our new Command Center 2, which is the 40,004. Also, a really neat piece of work that we've got. It's got no needles, no floats. It's a return system. Has a 340 liter per hour pump in it. But one of our newest items that I brought with us is our new stainless steel braided hose line kit with true flow fittings. What I brought today was the black version, but we also have a natural, stainless steel color. With the black stainless that we've got, or even with your regular stainless, it's easy to clean, it's always gonna look good. It never will fray. But what makes it so unique is the true flow fittings. Typically, most people are very familiar with the traditional AN fitting, where you have a step down, where it'll be brazed, step down into a smaller tube, and then it goes back out to a larger, port import. With these, the inside diameter is the same as the hose, which is a -6. So you don't have any spikes in your fuel pressures.
All right, so it's the end of day 3. Christian's inside the car wrapping up the retro sound stereo install. We're gonna stay a little late tonight working on the EFI system, so stay tuned.